Hi everybody, welcome back to Amanda Loves Sense and Books. I know it's been a minute since you've seen my face. I've been quite busy with my kiddo this summer, and he is back in school now, and I thought I would go over what is all on my physical TBR. My tripod broke, so I'm having to hold y'all, so I'm sorry if the video is kind of shaky, but we're going to go over the book closet. As you guys see, these are all my kids' books, but the book closet. Those up there, I've already read all these on the top shelf up here. But yeah, let's see how many books I have on there. Okay, let's see if I can get you in here. There we go. All right, we'll start at the top and make our way down to the bottom. All right. I thought about pulling all these out, but I'm like, that's a lot of work, and I would have to put all of them back. And I'm like, no. So, anyway, we'll start with, we have What's Left of Me Is Yours. And if you see any of these books and you think that I should read them, let me know. I have been in kind of a reading slump lately. I only read two books in the month of July, and one of those was an audiobook, and I only read 4 in June. So, like, I've picked up books, but nothing is, like, sticking. I've soft DNF books because I'm just not in the mood to read them, and now I'm finally picking back up. I'm almost on my 3rd or 4th book I've almost finished for the month of August, so hopefully there'll be a wrap-up soon. I apologize, but book slumps, they happen. Anyway, What's Left of Mine Is Yours by Stephanie Scott. The Promise of Elsewhere by Brad Leithenheiser. I guess that's how you say it. Dear Miss Metropolitan by Carolyn Farrell. I think that's how you say her last name. Farrell. Star-Crossed Minnie by Minnie Drake. I think that's how you say it. Or Drake. The Nest by Cynthia DeProxa Sweeney. Wonder Woman, the junior novel. The Bye Bye Man. The Summer in the City by Laura Wilde. The Misfits by Jenny Bertino. I butcher names. I apologize. Marina Sharma Hits the Road. Orange World by Karen Russell. Bare Necessities by James Golden Bourne. The Sweetest Thing by Monique Trogan. The Supper Club by Laura Williams. Little Family by Isha. Don't ask me to pronounce some of these. The Missing Years by Lexi Elliott. The Freaks by Amanda Hawking. The Girl Who Drank the Moon. Dragon Ball Super, the 18th volume. I've already read, I don't know if you can see them up there. I've already read these. But this is the newest one they got out. And let's see, 19 will be out in like September. The Silent Patient, Sharp Objects, Little Fires Everywhere, Big Little Lies, A Demon in Silver, Rebecca, That Summer, Keeping the Moon, This Lullaby, The Poison Blade, Jesse James Jecker, Just Jesse, The Dead Ex, Stranger Things, Darkness on the Edge of Town, Second Home, Reckless Girls, The Girl on the Train, A Mind Unravel, The 7th or 8th Deaths of Stella Fortina, The Costless Rises, All the Wrong Moves, the Hunger Games series, all except for the Songbirds and Snakes. I don't have that one yet, but I've never read any of those. I've seen the first 2 movies, I want to say. I don't think I watched the last one. The Descendants, some of the Descendants movies from Disney. I have some of those. The Rise of the Isle of the Lost, The Isle of the Lost, and The Return to the Isle of the Lost. I don't know if there's more to the collection, but I have those. Nameless, Never After, The 13th Fairy, Duke, Actually, by Jenny Holiday. Maybe Someday, Hopeless, and Verity, all by Colleen Hoover. The Deal by Elle Kennedy. People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. The Perfect Couple and the Castaways by Ellen Hildebrand. Battleborn and Frequency. The Lake by Natasha Preston. In 5 Years. Roseblood. The Girl from Widow Hills. Hello Summer. Most of the Sookie Stackhouse vampire series, if you saw True Blood on HBO, this is the series it's based off of. I've read the first 2 books. I think I only like 2 or 3, and I'll have the full collection. Angel Falls by Kristen Hanna. True Loves by Kristen Hanna. The Lost Horizon. Ice Planet Barbarians. The Taken. And then I have this series. I have no idea what it's about. My mom just picked it up one day for me. She said the people were giving it away, but it's Left Behind by Lainey Jenkins, and there's like 7 books in this series. If you've read it, let me know. Mr. Miracle by Debbie McCuber. The Crow Rider, the Jane Austen Society. Light Seekers, the Boys Club. We Became the City, and Into the Storm. Alright, let's get down here. One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Crown of Midnight and the Assassin's Blade. A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Frost and Starlight. The only one of Sarah J. Maas books I've read is A Throne of Glass and the Catwoman one. That's the only ones I've read by her. I started Crescent City, and then people said, well, no, you need to read A Court of Thorns and Roses first. I'm like, okay. So, I don't know. But anyway. Beautiful Disaster by Jamie McGuire. The Touch of Darkness, the Rhapsodica. Electric Idol and Wicked Beauty. Dawn of the Dead, the Sister Pack. Loretta Lynn's Me and Pasty Kicking Up the Dust. Revere and Ember of Night. Den of Vipers. The Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I've Been There, Married That. Rerule the Night. The Mortal Instruments series. Internal Devices? I don't know. The first 6 in the Mortal Instrument, and then I have Clockwork Angel. I don't have any of the rest of them, but I have the first 6, and then that one. Auntie Dementi and the King's Ransom Tunnels. Let's see. Nancy Drew, The Secret in the Old Lace. Stephen King, Rose Manor. The Awakening by Nora Roberts, What We Left Behind. Julia and Romeo. To Be Where You Are. Emma by Jane Austen. One of the few classics I have on here. The Gallery of Unfinished Girls. The Salt Line. I Have No Secrets. The Vanishing Half. The Dark Side of Camelot. And These Violent Delights. Alright, now I gotta get down here. Prop y'all up. That works. Gives my arm a break. I gotta get a new tripod. Let's see. My Nicholas Sparks collection is over here. Let's see. The Notebook, Dear John, The Best of Me, 2x2, The Return, The Choice, and The Last Song. And then I have Crystallis by Brandon Reach. Anatomy, A Love Story. I've heard good things, and I heard that there's a second one or third one out. The Guardian by Nicholas Sparks. I need to put that up here. Oops, I need to do it. Red, White, and Royal Blue. The Haunting of Darecliff Grange School. Let's see, I have some of these. I read the first one in this series, I think last year, maybe a year before. So I need to finish the series and get the rest of them. I think there's like 7 books out now. But the Disney Chills, this one's Doctor Strange's, Captain Hook's, and Cruella. I think there's up to 7 out now. The Bad Bachelor, Crushing It, Greekarella, Marigold Star, The When the Light Went Out, Wild at Heart, Aftercare Instructions, and Wonder. And then, let's see, Star Wars, I have Dark Force Rises, Star Wars The Collector's Edition. Let's see, The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. So it's the movies 4, 5, and 6. The Before the Awakens, The Princess and the Scoundrel. And those are all the Star Wars I think I have. If there's more, they'll be down there. But I think they're all up here. The Trap, it says, I know who killed my sister. I wrote this book for him. Red Moon. And then, let's see if I can, it's going to be harder to get you back there, but I'll try to read them all. 5 Feet Apart, Supernova, Merry and Bright, Prodigy, Spin the Dawn, Life and Death, and Midnight Sun. Both of the latest 2 books in the Twilight series. Hieroglyphics, Son of a Witch, Fire and Blood by George R. Martin, and Ruin of Stars. And then, down here, this is going to be fun. They go all the way back there. So we will start at the front. The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. How My Summer Went Up in Flames. I had planned to read these this summer and just didn't get to it. I may try to get to it before September, but we shall see. The Outsiders. I don't know why that book's down here. I've read that one before, but I need to put it back up there. Anyway, Watch Hollow. So technically Outsiders is not one of them. And I've not counted how many are on my TBR. So anyway, The Neighborhood Girls. On Magnolia Lane. Marley and Me. Yes, I've seen the movie. I cried. I just have not read the book. Didn't know there was a book until I seen it in a thrift store, so I picked it up. Haunting Paris. The Survivalist. Midnight Beauties. The Lovely Bones, sorry. Sword and Pen. Briar and Rose and Jack. Permanent Record by H.G. Choi. Harley Quinn, The Reckoning. Rekindled. And The Damned. Whoops. Of course they would fall, wouldn't they? The Temple of the Winds. My mom got me this book. I have no idea what it's about. Forrest Gump. Yes, I've seen the movie quite a few times. The Mind Virus. Let's Get Lost. The Cruel Prince. The Request. Plagueland, No Escape. Out of the Blue. Destined to Play. In the Afterlife. A House of Salt and Sorrows. The Morganville Vampires. Plagueland Reborn. The Zenith Orbital series. Jenny Han's The I Turn Pretty trilogy. The Summer I Turn Pretty trilogy. It's got all 3 of them. The Summer I Turn Pretty, It's Not Summer Without You, and We'll Always Have Summer. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas, the novel or book. I've read the manga and love the manga, so I have the book too. And then after I read this, I want to watch the anime. All the Light We Cannot See. The House with a Clock in the Walls. The Lincoln Lawyer and the Reversal. My legs are going to sleep. I gotta sit down. Oh. The Truth About Keeping Secrets. Finsbury, A Double Life, My Very 90s Romance, A Mother's Lie, The Book Thief, Jessie by Laura Wick, Good in Bed. It's gonna be fun putting all these back. And they fall down. Well, of course they do. Empty Hearts, Everything, Super Fake Love Song, Daughter of Smoke and Bone, The Survivor, When the Heart Cries, Only Love Can Break Your Heart, The Girls at 17 Swan Street, The Crave, Take a Bite, Educated, The Unquiet Heart, and Valentine. Let's try to put all these back down in here so they don't fall. Some of them anyway. That way I don't knock all of them that I still got over here stacked up. We have I Am a Star, Child of the Holocaust. 2 of the Bridgerton series. We have Bridgerton, The Duke and I, and Bridgerton, the Viscount Who Loved Me. This is supposed to be Anthony's story. I think this is supposed to be, what is her name? I've watched the show. I've watched the first 2 series. Well, the first 2 seasons. I can't think of her. Daphne. I love the show, and then I found out they're based on books. So, now, of course, I've got to read the books. Anyway, The Seeking Stone and The Black Cauldron. The Travelers, 12 Steps to Normal, and Her Daughter's Mother. If Birds Fly Back, The Priority of the Orange Tree. What's this? Small Town Girl. Tresvina. The Stepmother. Frederick Bachman's The Winners. The Overton Window. Ow. The Last Thing He Told Me. The Kingdom of Blazing Phoenix. The History of Wild Places. I got this at Goodwill, that's why it's ripped. The Siberian Dilemma. The Lager Queen of Minnesota. Stillheart by Brandon Sanderson. I have yet to read a Brandon Sanderson book, but when I get in the fantasy mood, I do plan to pick up a Brandon Sanderson book. Once Upon a River. Memphis. I picked this up just because I live like 20 minutes north of Memphis. So, that's the only reason I picked this up. Either I think I got it at Goodwill or the thrift store. Put it up here. Dating Dr. Deal. I'm probably going to have to move some of those books here shortly or they're going to fall. I found these in the Goodwill, but no, I've not read any of the Harry Potter books except for the Cursed Child, the last one where they're all grown up and whatnot. I read that one. I don't physically own it anymore. I gave it to my stepson and he flew back to California with it, so I never got it back, but I read it. But I've not read the entirety of the Harry Potter universe. I've watched the movie and then I played the game. But I found these two in the Goodwill bin for $1. So it's Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix and Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. So this is book 5 and 7. So those are the only ones I own out of the Harry Potter saga series, whatever it's called. I never know if it's called a series, a saga. Don't give me my. The Lady in the Attic. And then I have all of the Divergent books. I've only watched the first movie of the Divergent books, or the Divergent movies. So I have Divergent, Insurgent, Allegiant, and 4. Just never read them. Let's see. Then I have Francine Rivers, Redeeming Love, Francine Rivers, The Masterpiece, and Francine River, A Voice in the Wind. I know I was supposed to read a Francine Rivers book this year. It's on one of my books for 2023, and I've yet to read one. Well, maybe I'll get to it by the end of this year. We shall see. Heck, I think some of these were on my 2023 books to read this year. I'll have to go back and watch that video and see if I've read any of those books. Veronica Roth, The Chosen Ones. Winter at the Beach. I'll try to read this winter since it's winter at the beach. We'll see. The Altruist. My Dark Vanessa. I've not been in the right headspace to read this yet, but I do plan to read it. The Starless Crown. Then, oh boy. This back here, back in the back. Let's see if I can show you. That is my Stephen King collection. I've only bought one of those books, but the rest were my aunt's, and she passed away. And I don't know if I'm ever going to read all of them, but I will never do away with them because they were my aunt's, and I got them when she passed away. So, but if you think if you've read any Stephen King and you think that it's really good and it's not too scary, too spooky, let me know and I will try to read it. But I have The Sale, Firestarter. I've watched the new Firestarter. I've not watched the one with Drew Barrymore, but I've watched the newer Firestarter. So I think I might be able to handle this book. I don't know. Dolores Claiborne. Well. Oh, these books are so heavy. Cujo. 4 Past Midnight. Like, I have more of the Stephen King books. My friend borrowed some, and she's let me know if I would be able to read them. The Tommy Knockers. The Dead Zone. The Night Shift. Insomnia. Four Seasons. And I think I've seen this one by Stephen King. The Storm of the Century. I do believe I've watched this one. I think it's this one I've seen. I don't know. I've seen a couple Stephen King books. I just ain't watched all of them. And then, Mr. Mercedes. Alright. That is all the books I physically own. Physical TBR. I got, well, these are all my son's books. But I'm going to put all of these books back. They're behind me, if you can see them. Like you can see now that they're not back there anymore. But I got to put all these back, and then I'll get this uploaded, and y'all can watch it. And tell me which book you think I should read, or try to put on my priority TBR. I am a mood reader. Like I said, I'm getting out of a book slump, so hopefully I can keep at it. I will try to have a wrap up soon of some of the books I've read recently. Sorry about the hiatus, book slump, and then my son, he is autistic, so it was a lot. And then we were outside a lot this summer, and I was in the pool because it was too hot. Like, Tennessee is hot. During the summer, it's hot. Right now still, we're supposed to be under another heat wave, even though we had like less than 80 degrees the last 2 days. But Supposed to be back in the 90s and almost 100s next week. Oh, yay. But I hope y'all have a good day. And if y'all like this video, please like and share with your friends. And if you would like to subscribe, please subscribe. Thanks. Bye.